Hey everybody, I want you to head down to teespring.com and check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of Bondy's merch.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Southern Charm, New Orleans, y'all. So, let's go ahead and get into it without any further ado. Tamika and Barry talk again about Barry's son Hunter. I feel like we're repeating the same scene over and over again with them. But Tamika is just talking about how Hunter got a speeding ticket and she wants Barry to have a conversation with. It's like, I don't understand why Tamika feels the need to make it seem as if Barry isn't having these really important conversations with his son. First it was, you haven't talked to him about sex. And now it's, you haven't talked to him about being pulled over by the police. And Barry says in the confessional that he feels like times have changed and, you know, he won't have to worry about that with his son. Is that what I thought I heard? That's what I thought I heard, y'all. You know, times have changed as far as Barry is concerned. So he's thinking that his son won't have to deal with that. I feel like you were saying that because your son is racially ambiguous. I mean, obviously Barry's, first old lady was white. Like, I can only assume she was either very, very poisson blonde or white for him to come out looking the way he does. Hunter looks like he can be, Arab, Latino, somebody that is obviously black to people who are black and from New Orleans. But just looking at him, you would not know. So would a police officer know? Yes, I think they would know he wasn't white. And that's all that would matter. But I think Barry thinks because he's so light, and he's got the good the good hair that swings when he goes like this. It's just swoo. I think he thinks that will protect him. And I'm sure Barry doesn't really think that. I don't know why he vocalized that in the confessional, because then he goes and sits down with the boys and tells them that he thinks Hunter doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. Child, the fact that this hasn't been a conversation since Hunter was 8, I don't know what's going on over there. Like, I don't know what's going on over there in the Smith household. But in New Orleans, period, okay? And it's not even about being in New Orleans as much as it is driving through Metairie, driving through Old Metairie, driving through Slidell, driving through Kenner, like, to get to New Orleans or to leave New Orleans. Like, those are the places you have to worry about being accosted. Yes, it may still happen in Orleans Parish because there's always some overzealous police officer that's trying to prove a point. But ultimately, that issue exists in the neighborhoods that they live in, because they don't live in the city. They live, in areas, Covington. It can definitely happen in Covington, okay? Period. It can happen. But I also think they rely on the fact that they know people and people know them. And obviously, that doesn't matter. We're going to get to that in a minute. Kelsey and Justin go on a date. He's been working a lot lately. He says that work comes first. I said, oh, word. You got a woman living in the house with you and work comes first. Look, last episode they said they needed to have therapy because we needed to understand why Justin wasn't ready to marry. Wasn't ready to marry Kelsey even though he's living with her. I personally feel like something else is going on. And my partner Lauren texted me and was like, do I think that Justin might be, secretly gay and just not willing to come to terms with it because of who he is, whose son he is. And, this is New Orleans at the end of the day, and that's cool for who it's cool for. But for a lot of men, especially Justin's age, a little bit older than me, then that's not what they feel like is something that they can do. Like say that. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I don't. But I do feel like at this point, Kelsey needs to go back to wherever she came from or find her own place and live her own life. Because no woman her age needs to be wasting her years on a man that don't even know if he wants to get engaged, let alone marry her. I don't think therapy will fix whatever the issue is. I think that Kelsey needs to just move on and, make her points and, because he's going to get it when she leaves. But if he thinks that she's not going anywhere, I don't know if anything will ever change. Either way, Kelsey needs to nut up and get out this situation, because no woman needs to be with a man who you've been with for 5 years and he don't know if he won't marry you. Y'all too grown for that shit. And it's not like he got money issues. Justin is a very, good lawyer from what I understand. His father is a judge. So I just, that's what I meant by, because Justin got pulled over at 17 and had guns pulled on him by 2 white police officers. I'm not sure whether, what area of New Orleans it was in, but Justin's daddy is a fucking judge. So that should let y'all know, you know what I'm saying, that it can happen to anybody. And your people can only get you after the fact. But them police, while they out here on them streets, they don't give a fuck about the fact that, you Reese's son, Judge Reese's son. They don't care about that. Especially if they ain't know. And I'm not even sure if Judge Reese was a judge at the time. I'm sure he was a well-respected lawyer at that time. Him and Justin's daddy and my daddy, we're friends. But me and Justin have never met because we're, years apart from one another. I don't know why. I mean, we probably been around each other before and I just wasn't paying attention. But Justin's dad and my dad were friends. So I know like the type of person and how things happen out here. And you just got to prepare your kids, bruh. That's a conversation you got to have. You can't ever think that it won't happen to you. So when Barry said he didn't think that anything like that would happen to him until it happened when he was 25, I was just like, Barry, what's going on? Like, obviously your mom didn't have these conversations with you, and that's unfortunate. But as a man, you know these things. You got to have these conversations with your kids, y'all. But back to Kelsey and Justin. So they talk about, would they want to have kids? And I'm like, girl, he don't even want to marry you kids. Like, why are we here? And, he's like, if we did have a kid right now, we would probably be leaning on family a lot. And she's like, well, I don't want it to be like that. I want to raise my own kid. Basically saying, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, which is not something that he wants, but he did not vocalize that. He did not say it, which means that there are a lot of things he's not saying. Girl, Kelsey, go on now. Go on and find you somebody that's going to hurry up and put a bun in the oven, girl. Okay, so look, Reese and Reagan are putting their baby crib together. And y'all, Reese and Reagan are annoying. I'm sorry. Like, watching them on TV, because it's like her trying to prove that her relationship with him is so much better than her relationship with Jeff. And I just kind of feel like that's because it's brand new. And he hasn't really leaned into that gambling issue as of yet. I'm just saying, like, marriages have issues regardless. And I don't think that Jeff and Reagan were meant to be. They needed to separate. But at the same time, I feel like Reagan is just trying to make everything seem like it's so much better now that Jeff is out of the picture, as if she wasn't 50% of the problem in their marriage. I'm just saying. Reese, how you get him is how you lose him, partner, just so you know. Reagan feels like none of her friends have her back because everybody feels as if all of these things are moving too fast and they feel the need to be protective of Jeff. And another thing is, ever since she told him about getting engaged, that didn't go over well. Reese was upset. Jeff was upset. So she hasn't told him about the pregnancy. And I feel like that's fucked up because everybody else knows. You could have shot him a text. Just so he wouldn't be finding out in this way. Yes, y'all marriage is over. But at the same time, a month ago, y'all were still talking to each other. So I just kind of feel like there's no harm in slipping in a text so that he has a heads up. Because now, the way he found out on this episode, I felt like, I don't know whether it was worse or better for him to find out like this. But ultimately, I don't think he was going to be okay either way. I really don't. And if Reese wasn't comfortable with her still talking to him, then that's what it is. That's the relationship that she's in now. But it's just all very fucked up. Because you can tell that Jeff still loves her. So finding all of this out, that all of these things are happening so quickly, especially when he wanted kids with her and she didn't want to have kids with him because she felt like it wasn't the right time. Y'all, they were showing them throwback episodes from the first season. Jeff looked so much better now that John Moody done got his hands on him. Like, damn, John, you need to do that to all of the boys. Damn. So, speaking of John Moody, he cooks some lamb for the guys, and Barry and Justin are there, and Barry talks to them about Hunter, and this is when Justin tells them about having the guns pulled on him at 17, and, this is when they have that whole conversation. But I just still kind of feel like, y'all, Justin ain't telling us something. I'm just going to move on from that, okay? But like I said, Ben should have talked to his son. Since Ben. Okay, I really do think they think light skin protects you. And sometimes in New Orleans it does. But I don't know if it will in Covington. I don't know if it will in Kenner-Metairie. I can't, Slidell. I don't know. Okay, so Jeff and Benny is a cook, one of his homeboys. Y'all, Jeff and Benny worked on my nerves this whole episode. They kept calling Melitone Merliton. Nobody pronounces the R in Melitone. Okay? It's either coyote or melatonin, but nobody pronounces it merlaton. You know you're not from here if that's how you pronounce it. It is melatonin. Okay? Please. The R is silent. I cannot. I'm sorry, y'all. It annoyed me. Either way, they're putting together a Friendsgiving dinner, and Reagan and Reese are not invited. Why would they be? We're not friends, baby. Everyone comes over, including Jeff and Reagan's mutual friend, Doug. Y'all, I don't know why he felt the need to tell us that Doug was his first real gay friend. I'm like, child, you just didn't know he was your first gay friend. You probably had friends that was gay, but they was undercover. Football players, child, please. You didn't have some friends that was gay. You just didn't know. Anyway, so Doug says that he can't take this shit no more. So he takes Jeff to the side to tell him that there's some shit that's been going down and he don't like the fact that he's out the loop. So he tells Jeff that Reagan is pregnant. And Jeff loses his shit for a moment. Damn, why you told me that? I was having a good time. Then you see me in my scarf. We was having a good time. Why? Y'all, poor Jeff. Jeff went upstairs and had to gather himself. He was not drinking at this event, which is why he didn't go run a mile to the next city. Okay, he didn't go run into the next parish or whatever because he wasn't drinking. But everybody was wondering where the hell he was because they was getting hungry. And when he finally came back downstairs, the energy in the room is fucked up. And Tamika is like, "What's going on? Like, I can feel the energy is messed up. What's going on?" And Barry was like, "Tamika, please let it go. He don't want to talk about it. Let it go." And she wouldn't let it go. So he says, well, I mean, I don't know, if it's my place to say it, but I think he assumed that everybody knew because he seemed to be the only one that didn't know that Reagan was pregnant. Y'all know everybody like, and Tamika was like, are you serious? You didn't know? You guys have been talking to each other, like crazy. So you mean to tell me that she didn't tell you? You guys talked. You knew. And I'm like, Tamika, why would he lie about knowing? Don't do that. Don't do that. She made that situation so much worse to the point that Jeff was like, why would I know? I just went upstairs and bawled my fucking eyes out. And he picked up a plate and threw that shit down. And everybody's like, my poor friend Robin. Y'all get Robin out of there, okay? Robin didn't sign up for this shit. I know she Jeff friend, but y'all better get Robin and her husband up out of this reality TV show shit now. Lord have mercy. I felt bad for Jeff, but at the same time, it's like, Jeff, when are you going to come to a moment where you can handle your emotions without spazzing the fuck out? Because throwing a plate in a cup is you still spazzing out whether you ran or not. So all of this is going on at Jeff's house. Meanwhile, Reagan is still crying to Reese about how her friends aren't her friends anymore and how Tamika hasn't been around. And I'm like, first the fuck all, you treated Tamika like she was on the back burner. You was not telling Tamika information. You was the one making Tamika feel like she wasn't the friend that you wanted to confide in. So now that Tamika didn't bad back, okay, and okay, I saw what it was and I decided, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to back on up out. Okay? Like Tamika backed up like she felt like you wanted her to do. And now you over here crying about it, talking about she's not around and she's supposed to be my friend. And now Reese is getting all upset. I'm upset for you, babe. You know what? I'm fucking upset for you, babe. You know what? This is ridiculous. You know what? You should just call her and hash it out. And so she has been ignoring, okay? How are you ignoring her but then mad that she isn't around? What are you talking about, Reagan? Please tell me it's pregnancy brain, bitch, because this is your fault that you and Tamika's relationship is where it is. You have been deciding when and where she was your friend for a minute now. So as far as I'm concerned, you can go on ahead with them tears, okay? I guess she gonna reach out, but she's scared Tamika gonna judge her. And I'm just like, oh my God. You scared she gonna judge you? Girl, nut up. Okay, because if you want to be friends with somebody, you know the type of person they are. Don't then try to hide from them and then make it seem like, oh, it's because you're judging me. No, it's because you didn't want to hear nothing that they had to say about all of these sudden changes in your life. Granted, it's your life, but that's your friends. They gonna have input. That's just the way this shit go. Child, it done worked on my nerves. Anyway, that was Southern Charm, New Orleans. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.